Hey, how are you doing? I'm making a quick video on mean absolute deviation, and I hope you found the other videos that I posted helpful. We'll go through this rather quickly. I'm not going to get it too much into the explanation of why mean absolute deviation, more over that I'm going to do the how. Okay, so mean absolute deviation basically is the distance, and we'll just do this part right here. The average of the distance between the data, mean of the data and the original numbers. So basically, how far the data points are from the average. So we're just going to jump down to the three steps because if we can follow these three steps, it's the same concept for every single one. So first thing we need to do is find the mean of this data set. We find the mean or the average by adding all the numbers and then divide by the total amount of numbers. Okay, so in this case, we have 5 plus 7 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 6 plus 4, and that total happens to be 28. Okay, I'll bring my calculator up here so we can have that visual. Um, so 5 plus 7 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 6 plus 4, we get 28. Okay, then we divide by the total amount of numbers. There happens to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So divide by 7. 28 divided by 7 is 4. Okay, so our mean is 4. Okay, so step one's done. Step two, we need to subtract the mean from the original data, and then we're going to take the absolute value of those numbers. And remember, absolute value is the distance away from a number, mostly the distance away from zero. So all of your absolute values will be positive. So in this case, if our mean is 4, we have 5 minus 4, 7 minus 4, 2 minus 4, 1 minus 4, 3 minus 4, 6 minus 4, and then 4 minus 4. Okay, so do a quick, little quick addition, a quick subtraction here. So we have 1, 3, -2, -3, -1, 2, and 0. So remember, it says to take the absolute value of the differences, so the absolute value of all these numbers here. The positive numbers will remain positive, but the negative ones will become positive also. So our new data set with the absolute values of the differences would be 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 0. Okay, so that's our new data set. The absolute values. Now we're going to find the mean of the absolute values. Okay, so when we do that, we're going to add them all up together. So, and then divide by the total. So 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 0. Push enter. We get a total of 12, and then we divide by 7. And 12 divided by 7 is, oh, that's not right. 12 divided by 7. Okay, they give us 1.71. We're just going to say 1.7 because nice and simple there. Okay, so that's all there is to mean absolute deviation. It doesn't really get too difficult here. It's more just practicing and following the steps. So hopefully this is helpful. I'll do one more of these and then we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and do number 2 because temperature is more relevant. We can see an average spread of data. So this is something you would probably see more of. And then when you're taking your standardized tests, that's generally just going to say find the mean absolute deviation. So what we're going to do first, we're going to find our sum and then do the mean. So step 1, we're going to find the mean. Okay, so that's In this case, 80 plus 77 plus 79 plus 78 plus 76. So you get a total of 390. And then we divide by the total, which is 5. So divide by 5. And we get our mean is 78. Okay, so step 2, we're going to subtract all of these values minus 78. And then take the absolute value. So our numbers are going to be 2. Excuse me. You're going to get 2, negative 1. We're going to take the absolute value of that. We're going to get 1, 0, and then negative 2. But we'll take the absolute value of that as well. Remember, we're taking the absolute value of all the numbers, but what we're left with is 2, 1, 1, 0, and 2. Okay, so excuse me. So now that we've found all those values, reminder, we subtracted the mean from the original data and we got these values here. I took the absolute value of them and turned all the negative values positive. So we're going to add those together and then take and divide by, so this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 divided by 5, which is step 3, will give us our mean absolute deviation. So 6 divided by 5 is 1.2. Okay, so that's basically all there is to mean absolute deviation. So let's just go through the steps one more time. Step 1, we're going to find the mean of the original data set. You don't have to organize it from least to greatest. Just find the mean. So add up all the numbers, divide by the total of numbers. Okay, we did that here. Same thing. Step 2, we're going to find the difference or the distance away from the mean by subtracting each number, each of the original data points from the mean. Okay, and then whatever the values are, we're going to take the absolute value so they become positive. Okay, and then we have these values here. And then step 3, we're going to find the average or mean of those absolute values that we did here. So we added those all up together and then divided by the total. That's the same thing that we did here. So once again, if you can follow those steps, it's the same process for all mean absolute deviation problems. So hopefully this is helpful. Excuse my sloppy handwriting. I try to make it as neat as possible and efficient as possible. But if you need any questions or need any help or need anything else, please let me know and I'll be glad to make some content for you. Thanks, and until next time, bye-bye.